Right, let's start with news from the Upper West region, where graduate nurses and midwives, especially the trainees in the region, say none of their members are yet to be employed, contrary to claims by government that they've employed a total of 27,000 nurses and midwives, as captured in the first quarter of the 2018 budget. Now, according to them, a total of 26,864 nurses and midwives have completed their various courses and are due for employment. They were demonstrating in Wa, from where Rafiq Salam filed this report.
The unemployed nurses and midwives, numbering about 200, majority of wore their faded trainee uniforms, went round some principal streets in the Wa township. They held several placards, some of which read, "Nurses deserve better. The health sector is collapsing, and we are fed up with Nana," and sang and danced one of Sergeant Lee's favorite songs. Convener of the group, Daniel Alitu, expressed about government's failure to pay 6 months allowance of members who are in national service.
This is the 6 months and no penny, not one cedi have been paid to our members over the 8,042 members across the country. No member have received even one cedi. That it's high time the authorities, because our members are actually frustrated. We've been coming to work, a lot of fair to come to work, come without food. They are hungry, and all know that a hungriness is a potential.
The demonstrating nurses finally converge at the forecourt of the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council, where National Secretary of the Ghana Nurses Midwife Trainees Association, in charge of international relations, Saeed Mohammed Awal, read a petition on their behalf.
It came to us as news of joy when the 2018 first quarter budget was read and 27,000 nurses and midwives were captured to be enrolled permanently. This was reiterated by the Minister of Information on a press conference. However, we would like to categorically and emphatically state without equivocation that no nurse has been covered and employed so far as we are in the first quarter of the year 2018.
President Akufo-Addo to a matter of agency to get the nurses and midwives financially cleared and posted, since their numbers keep spiraling.
We are by this petition giving the government an ultimatum of 3 weeks from today, 5th September 2018, to address our plights. We would have no option than to walk through the principal streets of Accra, please write to the Juvenile House to register our displeasure to the President in person.
Upper West Regional Minister Alhaji Suleiman Al-Hassan received a petition on behalf of President Akufo-Addo.
Came out in your numbers and you are demonstrating peacefully. So let us continue to do dialoguing. We will make it to you and address all your concerns. But in respect of what you have given us, I assure you I will personally deliver.
For JoyNews, Rafiq Salam.
Well, let's travel to the Western region, and most of the buildings at the Ifiakuma Police Barracks need urgent renovation and reconstruction, as they have become death traps, posing danger to police personnel and their families living in them. Correspondent Ena Thalia Kwanza is now reporting.
In 1920s, is currently housing hundreds of police personnel with ranks ranging from constable to chief inspector at the Ifiakuma Police Barracks. The foundation has been weakened by erosion and is hanging as occupants have to climb some makeshift staircases before entering their rooms.
When it rains, we dare not come out here. Take a look at the building very well and the staircase. Whenever my kids are climbing, I get scared. Even me, when it rains, I have to climb it. I become very scared.
Mothers have to be on the alert to protect their children from falling parts of the concrete work. Wives of police officers seem to face the greatest danger as they spend most of their time in these buildings. Rosemary Kumi is the Magajia at Ifiekuma Police Barracks.
You will problem na me patro ya hawa ye wo mu nyina ne say baby ye we ye ni dan
We have problems here, especially accommodation. Most officers come to meet the building in a deteriorating condition, and we are compelled to fix it with our own money, which is never refunded. The officers here are really suffering. Sometimes where to lay their heads after work is a headache. We don't even have a place of convenience here. We are calling on the leadership of Ghana Police Service and government to come to our aid.
A police officer who spoke to Joy News on condition of anonymity expressed worry about the situation.
Looking at us as police officers, living in such an atmosphere is not the best. It's not the best at all. Can you believe that police officers will go to duties and people come to break our doors because they are outdated, they are weak. Things around us are very, 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 very old, and they need renewal of.
Rains last year killed a mother and a child. The roofs of some of these buildings were ripped off. The then regional police officer DCO Pikwesimensa Duku, who came to see the condition of the officers, promised a facelift, but as it stands, nothing has been done. Station officer for Ifiekuma Police Station, Chief Inspector Charles Ahemfo, had this to say.
As you can see, the barracks, we have a lot of challenges. The personnel here are living in these buildings, as you can see. So we need help from the individual organization and the government, and for that matter, our own police administration, to come to our aid, to help us either rebuilding the whole place again or whatever they can do to help us. Well, originally, these buildings are for railways quarters. It is not actually police buildings. So it's in the hands of railways and port quarters. I understand that because of that, maybe the authorities are here to do changing of document and can be in the police name so that they can rebuild the whole barracks. Apart from that, it has been long. If you see the foundation, very dangerous. And we have wife and children always even fall from the steps and they get injured and sent to hospitals. So we are appealing if something can be done. Assembly
member for the area, Tufelo Alassan, wants the authority to help provide better accommodation for the officers.
The way modernity and canocre and swany, and never be as a police for Tinakra, Intino, Mimpo dear, a Carmen Qua, and Car Esa buying a Babashananka, say Ububu Nanka, Wasan Esi for Moma in Kayapa. The member of parliament, a Honorable Joseph Kujo, or no cra or your catch, no more no name sending a hostie.
So if you are a police officer and you are being transferred to the Western region and you are asked to stay at the Ifiekuma barracks, this is the sort of buildings you will be welcome with. This has been the situation of police officers here for the past years. Reporting for Joy News, I am Inathalia Kwansa, Ifiekuma Police Barracks, Western region.
The Ashanti region next, and the Judicial Service in Kumasi has handed 44 seized guns and more than 2,000 pieces of ammunition over to the Interior Ministry through the police, and Ashanti Regional Police Command intercepted this cache of arms, including assault rifles from a 72-year-old Burkinabe at Alaba in Kumasi 3 years ago. High Court Registrar Ustaz Hamza handed the consignment to the command at the regional headquarters in Kumasi. Nana Asensu Mensah witnessed the ceremony and filed this report.
On June 26, 2018, High Court 3, presided over by Justice Francis Obri, sentenced Umar Sattar to 10 years imprisonment in hard labor. He had been convicted together with 2 accomplices of unlawful possession of arms seized by police in special operation upon a tip-off. His accomplices, Suleiman Al-Hassan and Frank Badu, got 4 years and 6 months jail terms, respectively. He called for the arms be given to the Interior Ministry. Ustaz is High Court Registrar.
The formal trial of the 3 accused persons started on 31st May 2017 after the jury members were impaneled. This trial finally came to an end on the 26th day of June 2018. At the end of the trial, the court convicted all the accused persons and sentenced them as follows. 1. A1 Umar Sana, alias Alhaji Umar, was sentenced to 10 years IL, 26 June 2018. A2 Frank Bedu was sentenced to 6 months IHL effective 26 June 2018. And A3 Suleiman Al-Hassan was also sentenced to 4 years IHL effective 26 June 2018. The court further made the following orders, which is the reason why we are gathered here today. The following firearms and ammunition are to be handed over to the Ministry of Interior through the Ghana Police Service. And they are, we have 7 AK-47 rifles, 8 mass MLE weapons, 1 AK-47 light magazine is incomplete, 15 AK-47 magazines, 2 AK-47 body covers, 1 AK-47 passport, 1 AK-47 replaceable bats, 1 AK-47 bolts, 4 AK-47 bolt head, 6,898 7.2 mm by 39 mm AK-47 ammunition, GPMG B-port-S-number A 3,507, 9 SMG magazines, 6 pieces of 12.7 mm anti-aircraft ammunition, 50 rounds of 9 mm pistol ammunition, 1 bolt assemble, 151 5.56 mm by 45 mm NATO, 1,661 rounds of 7.52 mm by 45 mm.
Reporting for Joy News, Nana Asensumen.
Well, back here in Accra, policy think tank Imani Ghana has cautioned government to be guided in its approach in the implementation of its local content policies, as it could be counterproductive. Local content policies have since been identified as useful means for countries to build essential skills and local capacity in key sectors of the economy. Speaking at a launch of a report on policies on Wednesday, Imani Ghana tasked government to come up with long-term strategies in executing them fully. Well, it's from where MFA Jiradosi is now reporting from.
Over the years, there has been a call for policies that require foreign investors to purchase domestic goods and services, employ and train citizens for development. There have been initiatives to build essential capacity through local content. At the launch of the Imani report on local content policy was to develop, among others, long as do so can be counterproductive. Barbara Andor, research associate for the Center for Energy and Resources at Imani.
We need to develop comprehensive metrics and a framework to appropriately track year-on-year achievement of local content targets, or at least improvement in local content levels. So I'd like to say that we consider local content to be very important and desirable. However, the caveats that we have raised so far are also important and should be given consideration so that we can all enjoy the benefits that come from actually effectively implementing our local content policy.
Works and Housing Minister Samuel Atachia called for a broader law that binds all the sectors in the realization of local content policies. He is also advocating government support local companies to make them competitive.
Which is of legislative consequence, which gives us the broad outlines of local content. And then, where it is situation specific, we can extract legislative instruments from the statutory instrument. If local content is of consequence to the nation, I propose that there should be a budget line. Every year, you have a budget line and see how we bring our locals to that competitive, so we have money for that.
Deputy Minister of Energy, Dr. Amani, dealt with issues provided sustainable jobs for indigents. He knows creating activity and for workers in the country. He outlined some areas his ministry will be focusing on.
Sustaining the jobs involve a number of things we have to do. Because if it is going to be flat, when there is an activity, you have many jobs. When there is no activity, you lay off. That is not the ideal situation we want as a country for our oil and gas industry. We want to be able to sustain them. It is for this reason that we decided to commence what we call a licensing and bidding round, where companies have to compete for the blocks.
Stakeholders also advise government to be guided on issues of local content policies so it does not breach international trade laws. Nancy MFR Jado, JoyNews.
And before we go, the receiver of the defunct Uni Bank, Amani, is accusing the founder, Dr. Kwabena Dufour, and other directors of unlawfully contracting loans and breaching regulations. It will be recalled that the Bank of Ghana last month revoked the license of Uni Bank and 4 other banks, citing breach of banking regulations and insolvency as the basis. The receiver, in his writ, wants repayments of an amount of 5 billion cedis. There's more in this report.
Individuals named in the writ include former CEO Dr. Kwabena Dufour II, former board chairman Opoku Jemfi Boateng, former executive director Professor Newman Kojosi, former executive director Owusu Ansa Are, among others. Some companies are named as defendants in the suit. They include Star Life Insurance, Urban Logistics, Baltic Portfolio Limited, Holder Holdings and Properties Limited. Mr. Dodu in his writ is seeking a declaration that some of the defendants have engaged in lawful transactions and should be held liable for repayment of an amount of 5,712,623,145 cedis. He wants all assets acquired with funds unlawfully obtained from the bank to be returned to the bank. Even before the case is determined, Mr. Dodu wants the registrar of the courts to inspect all of the assets with the assistance of the Inspector General of Police.
Well, so Kojo.
Yeah,
it's something we'll also be discussing this morning as well. And we know it's all bordering on the banking issues and the collapse of the banks, and now the committee and the storming out of some individuals, creating, all that controversy.
But we absolutely need to get to the bottom of it and understand what happened on that first day of hearings in Parliament. What exactly did the governor of the Bank of Ghana have to say for himself? And how did the committee respond to the information that was shared? So today, 2 members of that committee will be joining us. Richard Achampong is the MP for Bia East. He'll be here with Daniel Ochimabwaje from Bantama. It's going to be very exciting. But of course, you've been speaking to someone in academia about this $50 billion century bond that's proposed by the government of Ghana.
Yeah, definitely.
Wonderful.
I had a conversation with Dr. Lord Mensah. He is a senior lecturer at the finance department of the University of Ghana Business School, and essentially had been talking about what the benchmark should be for a country that usually would want to float such bonds, because we had the first one around the 18th century. Around 1751, the Bank of England did that, and then also the The U.S. government did that in the mid 1800s, and then they floated an early one in the early 1900s as well. And also England did that. They just finished paying around 2015. So it's not as if it's all strange. Many countries do that, but those countries have economies that tend to multiply not only revenues but for various sectors to be able to plow back and pay back. So
indeed.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends.
So I guess the question is, does Ghana's economy have what it takes to withstand the pressures of a 100-year obligation, and whether indeed we'll be able to keep up those payments? But of course, let's not forget that when we first heard about this, the Information Minister designate, Kojo Nkrumah, informed us that the rationale of this was to actually rationalize our existing debt. That have some rather crippling conditions attached to them, so that this would be a cheaper obligation on the government's books. Let's see if indeed that adds up and makes sense financially for the Ghanaian economy. All of that is to come later today, and then of course we'll have showbiz and so much more. But first, it's time for us to review the newspapers.
Well, definitely, and all of us are here. We'll bring you the latest. Stay with us.